In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to draft, cut and sew a two-piece sleeve. This type of sleeve is used for blazers. Before we begin drafting, these are the measurements that you need. You need your armhole measurements, your sleeve length and your bicep circumference. That's round your bicep. Okay, and then you also need your wrist circumference. Now let's get started. So for the first thing you're going to do, you go ahead and draw a straight line at the top. I always do this. This is to ensure it's no our starting line. And then you are going to go ahead and mark out the full length you want your sleeve to stop. For this tutorial, I used 30 inches. That's because the sleeve stopped at my palm. Okay, so draft out the full length of your sleeve. After doing that, go ahead and mark a straight line across it. Mark a straight line across it like you see me do in this video. And after doing that, you go ahead and trim out the starting point. Okay, I just want to trim it out. That's to help me get my curve right. Yeah, so we're drafting this sleeve on fold. Okay, we're not drafting just half of it, we're drafting it on fold, and you're going to see why. So now from the top, I'm going to start drafting a basic sleeve. If you've not watched the basic sleeve tutorial, you might want to do that. Okay, so go down by 5 inches. That's where you need your armhole measurements, and then come up again by 2.5 inches. Now go ahead and mark a straight line across the 5 inches point. Mark a straight line like so. And then you are going to measure your bicep circumference and make sure that your bicep divided by 2 mark the line. Please make sure that you have at least 1 inch allowance on this. I used about 1.5 inches allowance. Okay, so when you're folding your paper, make sure that it's enough. Now on the 2.5 inch measurement, I'm going to divide what we have. That's 7.5 inches. I'm dividing it by 2. Okay, so whatever you have on your bicep line, divide it by 2 and make a point there. Now we're going to draw a straight line across like you see me do here. We're going to draw a straight line. This is to help us draft out our basic sleeve. We want this to be very perfect. That's why I'm showing you this pattern. So after doing that, you want to use your curved rule to come up a bit above the line like this, and then a bit below as well. You don't want anything too dramatic. This is to ensure that everything fits perfectly. Remember that this is a suit sleeve, so you want it sitting well. Now whatever you have on your bicep line, go ahead and mark it out at your hem point. That's your wrist point or your full length. Go ahead and mark that out. Now after marking it out, go ahead and connect a straight line from the bottom to the top. Okay, like this. And then I went ahead to trim it all out. Go ahead and trim it all out. Okay, now you have your basic sleeve pattern. Now after doing that, you want to go ahead and open it up and fold your sleeve into 2 like this to meet the midpoint. Please pay attention to what I'm doing here. This is very important. Go ahead and fold it in like this, and then fold the other side to meet it as well. Now after doing that, this is what we have. I'm going to go ahead and use a masking tape, a seal tape rather. I use your cello tape to join it together. You can also go ahead and mark a straight line at the middle. So at the top, the bicep line, go ahead and draw a straight line across like this. This is to differentiate your sleeve cap from the arm. Okay, so mark a straight line like this. After doing that, you want to come in by 1 inch on the bicep line. Come in by 1 inch. Okay, and then I went ahead to label the front of my sleeve and the back of my sleeve. So the one with the F will be going to the front part of the sleeve, and the other one will be going to the back. Now we're going to come down by about 8 inches. Okay, we're going to be coming down about 8 inches. This is your, should I say, lower bicep now? Okay, if you're drafting a short sleeve, it's usually 8 inches, so you come down by your short sleeve measurement. Okay, mark it down, and after doing that, you also want to come in at this point by the 1 inch that we came out by at the top. Okay, so after doing that, at the bottom you also go ahead and come in by the same 1 inch. Now after doing that, we are going to connect these lines together. Mark a straight line across. Mark a straight line across like this. Please, when you're doing yours, go ahead and mark it all the way to the top. Let it touch the sleeve cap. Now on that point, you want to come in by 1/2 inch on both sides. This is to get your dart. Okay, we are going to be using a dart for this sleeve. Now connect it all the way to the top. Connect your dart legs like this. I'm using the curved part of my ruler, not so curved though, but if you don't have a curved ruler, you can go ahead and use your straight ruler as well. So make sure you connect your dart legs like this. After doing that, you want to go ahead and connect it all the way down, all the way to your full length. Okay, connect a straight line all the way. Now after doing that, you want to go ahead and divide what you have left from the dart point, the points of the dart down. You want to divide what you have into 3. Okay, so I've shared the first line, and that is the second point I'm marking. So the bigger one goes to this side, and then the smaller one goes to the other side. I shall hope you understand what I'm doing. After dividing it by 3, at the short sleeve line, you want to go in by 1/2 inch. Now after going in by 1/2 inch, I went ahead to mark a straight line. This is to indicate our midpoints. You can do this earlier. I just wanted us to at least have an idea of what I'm doing here. So just indicate your midpoint like this. Go ahead and connect a straight line like this to the 1/2 inch points, and then use your curve rule to smoothen it out. Draw a straight line all the way to the top. This is a very simple process. Okay, go ahead and do that. Now after doing that, at the hem, you want to come up by 1/2 inch, and then draw a straight line to meet the other dart leg. Please follow what I'm doing in this video. Now you want to go ahead and cut that part away. We are no longer needing that part. If you do this correctly, you see that what we have left will be more than what your wrist is. Okay, what you have left at the hem is much more than your wrist measurement. That is because you do not want your suit sleeve to be tight at the arm. Now go ahead to trim this out. After trimming it out, go ahead and also cut away the 1/2 inch that we went up by. Now go ahead and also cut out your darts. Now I went ahead to extend the line to the top. So please, you can do this when you are just starting, and then cut it all the way to the top. Okay, now after doing that, go ahead and open it up. You're going to see what we have. After opening it up, we have our 2-piece. Now the next thing we'll do is to use our scissors to cut it open. Okay, please be very careful here. You want to cut it straight. Now this is what we have. Our 2-piece suit sleeve is ready. Please note the place that is going to the front and the part that is going to the back. Okay, after doing that, go ahead and place your pattern paper on your fabric. Okay, place it on the wrong side of your fabric and go ahead to cut it. At the hem, I left about 1 inch for stitching allowance, okay, because I'm going to be turning it in with the lining. So I left about 1 inch at the bottom, and then at the sides I left about half of an inch as stitching allowance. Now after doing that, I went ahead to notch the middle part of the sleeve cap. Okay, go ahead and make a notch there, and your sleeve pattern is ready. The next thing we're going to do is to go ahead and cut out the wording for the top. So for us to attach the wording, you don't necessarily need it for every suit. Okay, this is just to make the sleeve cap stand. Now I went in by about 2.5 inches round the sleeve, 2.5 inches all round. Now after doing that, you want to go ahead and trim out that part of the pattern paper. Okay, that is what we'll be using to cut out our wording. If you have maybe a shoulder pad, you can use it. I'll be using wording for this. Carefully trim it out. After trimming it out, we're going to go ahead and fold our wording in 4 like this. Go ahead and fold it. Then also fold the pattern paper, because this is what we are going to be using to cut out the wording. So after doing that, go ahead and cut it out. You can double yours if you want. I actually did double mine because the wording was not thick enough as I wanted. Okay, this is what we'll be using for the sleeve cap. Now after doing that, this is how we're going to be placing it. And like you know, the wording has a shiny piece, a shiny part of it. That is the part that sticks when ironed. So go ahead and iron it and it will stick. So after doing that, we're going to go ahead and also cut the lining piece and stitch this together. After stitching it down, this is what we have. Go ahead and iron your wording on it, and that is it. Attach your sleeve to the main fabric and you are done. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope this tutorial was helpful. If it was helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this video, to this channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.